Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me today. Now I wanted to review and swatch a tiny baby eyeshadow palette for you guys, and this is by Huda Beauty, and she's recently come out with eyeshadow palettes called the Obsessions Eyeshadow Palette. Now she has, I think, four eyeshadow palettes in this collection, like different themes. Each eyeshadow palette has a different theme. One is like a smoky themed palette. One is the one I holding up right now is the colorful one, which is called the Electric Obsessions, and then she has the warm toned palette. She also has like a mauve toned, pinky toned palette, pinks and burgundy kind of palette. So I ended up picking up just this one. So this is called, as I just said, Electric Obsessions, and the packaging, you have like, actually these are the shades you get in here. There are 9 shades, you can see. 1 2 3 4, oh, there's another one here, 4 5 6 7 8 9. So there are 9 shades that you get in this palette, and they show you the 9 shades that you get in here. And it's really very artistic, you know, like broken eyeshadows. It's really pretty. And then each of the palettes retail for $27. The amount of product you get in this palette, the net weight is 10 grams, so you will get 9 eyeshadows for 10 grams. So if you break it down, in each pan you get like approximately 1.1 gram. Let's round it to 1 gram. So if you convert it to ounce, you'd get 0.03 ounces of product in this each pan, and that's like a mini eyeshadow. It's not too less. At the same time, I wouldn't call that like a full-size eyeshadow. So in each pan you get like a mini eyeshadow. So 9 eyeshadows, and you can see the colors you get. And this also comes with a mirror, like a really good size mirror. It's not tiny. It's just about the size of the palette, maybe I wouldn't say 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, maybe 1/4 of an inch reduced from all 4 sides. If you take it off, the rest would be like the mirror on the inside. So that it does come with a mirror. And this palette is made in China. These palettes, the Obsessions eyeshadow palettes, they are made in China. I think, from what I remember, the Desert Dusk palette was made in Italy, and so was the Rose Gold palette, and also her highlighter palettes. I think they're also made in Italy, but this guy is all the palettes in this collection, they are made in China. And you do have like the list of ingredients in the back. So yeah, I don't remember, I'm sorry, and I didn't save the packaging, I think, but it did not come in a box, probably in like a plastic sleeve. I don't know guys, but I don't remember a box at all, so kind of, I don't remember. Anyways, let's watch the shades. And also wanted to compare these shades here with the Sephora Pro. Towards the end, I have the Sephora Pro Pigment Palette. That's what it's called. Pro Pigment Palette Editorial. This is the colorful one. This retails for $68. This is a limited edition palette, but it's still on the website. I have seen it in many Sephoras in store, so it's probably still online as well. And this is, there are some similar colors. Oops, I was just about to drop this palette and I got so scared, you guys. Hang on, let me just hold both up. Do you see some similarities? The dark teal there, I'm just holding up very close to the dark teal, and then you have this hot pink, and then this strawberry red, and then this beautiful pinkish purple. So I just wanted to compare and show you guys if there are some dupes here. So the bigger one, the Sephora Pro retails for $68. This is a gigantic palette. It's very big. You do get a lot of colors, mattes and shimmers, and also very multi-dimensional chunky glitter kind of shades as well. So, but I just wanted to show, I noticed the similarities in the mattes, especially in the mattes, and I think we have a dupe for at least 4 or 5 of the mattes. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, I have dupes for 5 of the mattes from the Sephora Pro Editorial as well. So I'll just show you guys swatches towards the end. So yeah, let's get to the swatches, guys, of this one. So there are no names, so let's start from the top row. I'm holding the palette upside down, obviously, so let's start from the top row. And this is like a pinkish purple shade, which looks like a very hot pink shade. So this is slightly sheer, but it builds up really well, and it also stays true to color. So but it's not like one swipe complete pigmentation. I would have to build up on my skin tone at least 3 times for this. And then we have a beautiful lavender shade. This is the shade I have on all over the eyelids. So shade, this is a really pigmented shade, guys. You do not have to wet your brush or anything. Just use your brush dry. Just a dry application would deliver a completely opaque pigmentation. It's really, really pigmented. It's a beautiful shade as well. And then you have like a coral matte shade. This is actually has a really good pigmentation with the brush. I did not have to build it up at all, but I just built it up because I had to I wanted to blend it a bit, so I just built it up a little bit, just my personal preference, but I did not have to do that at all. So that is the top row. So let's look at the second row. This is like an ink blue color, like an indigo blue. It's indigo blue, and this is also very, very pigmented. There's no need to use a wet application at all. You do not have to wet your brush. Very, very pigmented shimmer shades, guys. This is not very intense shimmers. As you can see, they are like soft shimmers, but they are really, really pigmented. And then you have a yellow, which, as all yellows go, not very pigmented. You have to build it up, but when you build it up, it does adhere well to the skin. It doesn't like blend away. So yeah, that is that matte yellow shade. And then you have like a very hot pink shade, which is really, really pigmented as well, guys. It's really nice. So that is the second row. Then finally, this is like a pinkish red, not like a straight up, just, you know, the blue tone kind of red. This is a very strawberry kind of a red, guys. And it's extremely pigmented. It's just one swipe pigmentation. Just dip your brush a little bit and it delivers really, really good pigment, completely opaque pigmentation. And you have this beautiful turquoise shade, which is also very pigmented, and this is a shimmer shade. Very, very pigmented, guys. This is with a finger, so a brush application again works really well. There's no need to wet your brush to get complete opaque pigmentation, but again, all 3 shades are like soft shimmers, but they are very, very pigmented. And then finally we have this very dirty teal shade, bluish green kind of shade. So that is that shade. So these are the shades in the Electric Obsessions palette. Now let's talk about the quality and the formulation of the shades in this palette. And I have to say, the shimmers are fantastic. I would give a 10 out of 10. Personally, I would prefer them to be a completely foiled finish, but these are really good, extremely pigmented, one swipe opaque pigmentation soft shimmers. So as you can see, this is a shade that I have in the entire lid, and I did not have to build it up at all. I just dipped it once and just applied it all over my lid, and it's really, really good. I've had this makeup on for 5 hours and this hasn't faded at all. And the outer lid, in the outer V and in the crease altogether, I have the teal shade. It kind of has changed color. Do you see? It looks like a blue, like a darker blue than this teal. I have noticed this particular teal shade. I have an Inglot eyeshadow very similar to this. I also have a Color Drain eyeshadow very similar to this. And all of them actually kind of darken and kind of look very dark blue on the eyes. I have never seen a very deep teal eyeshadow like this, which remains deep teal on the skin as well. So, but this has just remained really, really well, and the pigmentation has stayed put. I don't think it has faded at all. I really like it. And then as a transition, I use this coral shade. I don't know if you can see it, a little bit of coral here. So I use that transition shade. And the inner corner, I use this hot pink, this tiny bit of pink that you might see is this hot pink. Where is this? Yeah. That is the eyeshadow look I have. The shimmers, as I said, are very, very, very pigmented. They are soft shimmers, not foiled at all, but they are super pigmented, guys. You do not have to build it up at all. Now, as for the mattes, they are nice, but and they are pigmented and they build up really well. But they're not like the best of best eyeshadows. You know what I mean? Now, the Desert Dusk palette by Huda Beauty, personally, I did not like it because some of the shades do not appear true to what it looked on the pan on my skin tone. The mattes especially, all of them look kind of like reddish brown on my skin tone, so that's the reason I did not like it very much. But they blended beautifully. The blending aspect of the matte eyeshadows in the Huda Beauty's Desert Dusk palette was fantastic. It was really, really good. But these mattes need some work. If you want them to be really, really blended, I had to put in some effort to blend them, but they do blend eventually. But it's not like you would have to sit there and blend like for 5 minutes. It's not like that, but you will have to put some effort with respect to the blending. So I wouldn't say that these mattes are on par with the Desert Dusk palette by Huda Beauty. Those eyeshadows, although I didn't like the colors on my skin, the blending aspect of those eyeshadows were really, really, really good. They blended beautifully. They were so effortless to blend, but these they did take some effort on my part to blend them, but they are really, really good. So yeah, that's my review on the quality and the formulation of the products. Now let's take a look at the dupes that I just found. This is just dupes, so maybe if you have this palette, you probably don't need the Electric Obsessions at all. Or maybe if you want this palette, you don't have to spend $68 on this. Instead, you could get the Electric Obsessions. So that's why I wanted to show you guys swatches. Now, let's start with the first matte, which is that pinky purple violet shade. There is this shade here, which is so similar. Let me swatch it on top. Yeah. Top is from Sephora Pro palette, and the bottom is from Huda Beauty. So they are actually spot on, guys. They are just the same. And then there is the coral shade here. Let's swatch it right below this coral shade. Yeah. So the top is from Huda Beauty and the bottom is from the Sephora Pro Editorial Palette, and they are, again, they are exact dupes. Maybe the one in Obsessions palette from Huda is a little bit more red, and the one from Sephora Pro is a little bit more orange. So just tiny minor differences. And then what's the next? Oh yeah, we don't have a yellow in the Pro palette from Sephora, so I don't have a yellow dupe at all in here. So let's move on to the hot pink, which is this. We do have a very, very similar hot pink here. And then where shall I swatch it? Maybe here. So this is a hot pink from Huda's palette, and this is from the Sephora Pro, and they are again just the same, guys, just the same. And then let's move on to the pinkish red. Again, we have that beautiful strawberry red here, and this is also very much pigmented. Let's swatch it somewhere here. Okay, so they are just the same. I don't see a difference at all, actually. This is from the Huda's palette and this is from Sephora Pro. They are just the same. Maybe let's see if I can swatch it right below that, and you'd see how just it's like I have two swatches. They are just the same. Anyways, and finally we have the dark teal. Is that the shade? Yeah, this is the one. Dark teal, the dirty teal that we have. Let's swatch it here. Yeah, This is a tiny bit brighter, but on the skin, as I said, this particular shade tends to darken on the skin. So yeah, this also kind of darkens. So those are the two colors, guys. This is from Huda's palette and this is from Sephora Pro Editorial Palette. So we have 5 dupes out of the 6 mattes. Yeah, except for the yellow, we have dupes for all of the mattes from this palette in Sephora Pro Editorial Palette. So as I said, the reason I swatched them is because if you wanted to get this palette and you didn't, you know, just because there's no other go and there's no other way you'd be able to get your hands on these colorful, beautiful shades, so you decided to spend $68, there is an option. This is only $27, so I think that's like a really good bargain. And the quality on the Sephora Pro, just if you're wondering, I did do a full review on this palette. If you're interested, please do check it out. It's an in-depth swatch and review on each and every shade. But the quality, I feel it blends a little bit easier and better than the Huda's Obsessions palette. The Sephora Pro Editorial Palette, the mattes, they do blend and they are a little bit more powdery. They're really powdery actually. You cannot do the swirling motion with your brush. You just have to dip in. That's it. Just dip in. With this, you can probably do the swirling motion maybe. I don't do the swirling motion in general, so I'm not sure, but the Sephora Pro eyeshadows are even like really powdery and really soft. They don't like break, but they are quite powdery. You have to be doing the swirling motion, you would end up wasting a lot of product. So there's like significant difference with respect to how powdery both the mattes in this palette and this palette are. You will feel the difference, you know. It's very obvious and very evident. So yeah, I think the mattes in Sephora Pro definitely blend a little bit better and easier. Not better, easier. It takes a little bit lesser time to blend the mattes in the Sephora Pro than the mattes in the Huda's Obsessions palette. That's just my opinion based on using both the palettes. And color wise, they are 5 out of the 6 mattes are spot on, guys. So yeah, and the shimmers are absolutely fantastic in the Obsessions palette. So if you're not someone who's too much into colors and just wants but still want something colorful, you know, colorful eyeshadows in your life, I think this is a good, really good option. $27 is a really good bargain, and the sale is going on right now, so you'd be able to get it at like what, $4 off if you are a Rouge or a VIB member, and for the others it's probably 15% off. So yeah, that's $3. Yeah. That's it, you guys. I think I've covered everything I wanted to say and share with you guys. These are the swatches, and you guys, yeah, hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.